Hello everyone and welcome back. This is game 2 of the losers round 4 matchup between BustRobot and Madness969. We're looking here from BustRobot's perspective because he chose the map and it is Yamasaki Choke Point. I absolutely love this map when the game is balanced. Back when matchlocks and monks were overpowered, they would just sit here in this little crevice right there and you just couldn't penetrate it and the matchlocks would mow you down and it was awful. But given that the state of the game is pretty good right now, I do like this map. What I like about it is the buildings really make 3 viable areas for the battle to take place. You got the center, obviously, and the 2 wings over here where cavalry battles often end up happening if the middle is taken. As you can see by the cavalry kind of spread out here, looks like BustRobot's going to really try and control the map in this one, maybe try and capture buildings. Interestingly, both armies started out in the trees, trying to move up a little bit and hold off the enemy trying to plan for their attack. They're now out of the trees, and it looks like both armies are going to be moving to the building on their side of the map and try and capture that. We have over here on Madness' side, we have the workshop, giving that defense and armor bonus, which would be great for skirmishing. He has 2 bow warrior monks, so that could actually end up being huge. On the other side for BustRobot, we have 2 bow samurai, so that could be very big. If he gets the workshop here, it's great for skirmishing, upping that armor. Every little bit really counts, especially if they're not bow warrior monks, which don't quite have the destructive power that bow monks do. So we're going to see if skirmishing will be a big factor in this one. There is a lot of cavalry for BustRobot, and of course he does have those bows, so it's not going to be easy for Madness at all. Looking at his cavalry, it looks like he only has a couple. 2 Great Guard for his infantry component. Very similar to what we saw in the last one. Nodachi front line with some katanas in the rear, and Naginata warrior monks. Also a match like Ashigaru, but there could still be stuff hidden in the trees. It's actually quite good for hiding in the trees because you can get in these little forests right here. It's actually a pretty good staging point for an attack because it's actually not too hard to cross this river and get some good flanking action in. And BustRobot is just trying to control his side of the map. He has this light cavalry in ambush here, and it looks like they are going to get spotted. So definitely pulling back. Attacking that Great Guard uphill would not be a good idea, so it was a good idea to pull back. Now I think that BustRobot should push this cavalry fight. If he can trap this Great Guard and get all of Madness's cavalry off the field, I think that he would be in a good position to win this one. Let's look at the infantry battle here. As we saw over there, there were 4 katanas and 2 nodachis and 3 monks. Over here we have 4 katana samurai. He does have that Yari Ashigaru front line, which could be very good on a map like this. There are a lot of choke points, and that can end up working very well in sort of a 2 or 3 layer attack. He's got 1 Naginata samurai, maybe in anticipation of a skirmish duel, hoping to maybe catch some arrows, and some Yari samurai in the rear. So infantry is fairly balanced, I think. Maybe give it slightly to Madness, as he does have a little bit more of that killing power, but this matchlock could be huge. Do both sides have a matchlock? Yeah, they both do, so on a map like this, these choke points, especially when you have to attack up a hill, it could be very hard to do an attack here, because this hill is very steep. I mean, look at this hill. Not fun to attack up. You do get the tree cover, which is nice. It's actually a pretty bad angle to shoot from, as you can see. It's just hard to get any shots on, especially with all these trees. So it's not as bad as it looks, but oh boy, if he takes that Nodachi charge head on going down that hill, that would be devastating. And especially when you're going up the hill in the Yari spear wall. Not good. I think, again, with this map, I said my complaints with this build in the last one. But on a map like this, I just don't think this is the best build for it, because if you have to attack, it's great to defend with, but if you have to attack, going up that hill in spear wall, it's just going to be really slow and tiring your men out, and it makes you very vulnerable to that big Nodachi charge downhill. So we're going to see what BustRobot's going to try and do here. Maybe trying to out-skirmish Madness, but I don't think that's going to happen with the workshop in his control and 2 bow warrior monks. He'll be able to match that bows and be able to keep cavalry away as well, though he doesn't have any dedicated spears. He just has the Naginata monks, but we'll see if he can do that well. This Great Guard, you know, I don't know if I want to be risking my Great Guards in anti-cavalry battles. But if it gets all of BustRobot's, if he can at least force a draw, if he can get the Great Guard to clear out the light and Yari cavalry, it could end up in his favor, because I do think he has an infantry advantage, and if he does take out the cavalry, the onus is on BustRobot to attack. And he's in a very strong position here, so I think trying to play for a draw, like the black in chess, I think it would be actually a pretty good strategy here, because it will take out a big punch for BustRobot, and it'll put him in a very vulnerable position to attack, because he'll just be moving so slowly and really vulnerable to that downhill charge. Excuse me. Ugh. Anyway. Oh man, something's coming out of the trees. A light cavalry. Good try here. If he can take out the bows, that would be huge. But he's just going to pull back. Could have maybe even got a shot at the jet. Nah, there's the Yari Ashigaru there. No dice. Now, BustRobot does have the archery dojo, so that will definitely help him in the skirmish battle. It's going to all probably come down to good micro and better decisions. The Yari Samurai is split off from the main line and are going over towards the cavalry. It looks like what he's going to try and do here is catch Madness's cavalry off guard, try and win a cavalry battle with the Yari Samurai, and then sort of have free range attack. Because if you can kill the cavalry, there's not much to stop the cavalry for Madness. And with that Yari Samurai support, he can tie down the Naginata monks and get some big charges in. He's definitely going to need it if he wants to win. Infantry is moving over here to anticipate the attack up this hill. I think if I were BustRobot, this hill's still pretty steep. There really isn't a good way to attack this hill. And it's a tough map to choose if you're going on offense. You really need to think about your build in this one. And I'm skeptical of BustRobot's build on this map. It's going to be very hard for him to attack, I really do. But crazy things have happened in this tournament. I would not be surprised if something crazy happened again. Going all the way over here now for the cavalry and the Yaris. Oh, I think we have a little bit of a battle here. Light cavalry do get caught by the light cavalry BustRobot, but it'll be almost 1-for-1. BustRobot's getting the better of it, but lost 15 men, now down to 30. It is going to hurt him. But he does get a unit off the field. Great Guard's coming out, maybe try and save him, but they're pulling back because there's no way they're making that time. In fact, he's already shattered, so there's really no point. BustRobot is in a very difficult spot to attack here. I've said it many times, but it's going to be tough. Tough map choice here. Excuse me, folks. Now, the Yari Cavalry and the spears, just a big wall of spears going here. I'm just going to try and get the pincer attack in, which is probably his best bet. I think that's a good choice. Try and hit this army from two sides, divide his attention, maybe try and, hopefully he gets a bad charge off on one of those sides and he can tear through the Nodachis in melee combat. We're just going to have to see. Sorry guys, just wanted to go and blow my nose real quick. Not a lot of developments, a lot of movement on BustRobot. He is taking the long way around, does not want to walk up this hill. Ironically, I think the tree hill might be the better place to attack because he has that tree cover. Going up the open field could potentially allow those bow monks to just lay waste any oncoming infantry. It would just not be pretty. The Yaris are now in position as well. Probably going to try and take advantage of that advance rapidly. Just try. I think what he's going to try and do is get the Yari Samurai to hold these units down here and flank around with his cavalry where there's just no defense. There is one Naginata monk here, but if he can get the cavalry around, he has a very realistic chance of winning this battle against really high odds. Maybe even get the general, but I think I'd be going into the melee line. Killing the general should not be a priority in this one, as they're probably going to have pretty decent morale. Being up on this hill in big numbers, I think the best bet is just try and smash that infantry as much as you can. Because if you can get a big charge off, and Madness does not get a good charge off with his Nodachis, that Yari Spear Wall could do very well. And it's pretty small of an area as well, as you can see. If he can, I think he could funnel the Nodachis and the Katana into a very small area, which is where that Yari Spear Wall really succeeds. Madness taking very seriously his role of the non-designated attacker. But maybe he would try and push a skirmish attack with those upgraded bows, at least with the workshop and the range. I think he could have really been done a lot of early skirmish damage and maybe try and rush BustRobot into a bad attack. But he does have a lot of cavalry, maybe not trying to risk an attack so soon. There's really, I guess there's only one light cavalry of 30 men, but he doesn't really have much to respond with. He's got to keep that Great Guard on high alert and try to not lose them early. Just maybe have a Katana cavalry going all the way around, very sneaky, but it looks like Madness has anticipated that attack and putting the Naginata monks into position. If Madness had not noticed that, that could be huge, because look at this. There's absolutely nothing to stop them if they manage to slip back here. Great Guard could try and get there in time, but a big charge in the general or the melee line could end this battle very quickly. Still saying I would go with in the melee line in this one. Light cavalry moving up, 30 men trying to hit those bows. They are firing at the light cavalry. But look, they are in the trees, didn't lose a man. Bad angle, as I said. Being on top of a hill, it's one of those cliches, put your archers on a hill, but it's not always a good angle. Especially when there are trees there. Didn't lose a single man in 2 volleys for Bow Warrior Monks. He's going to make it to him. Killed 10 men in that charge, not bad. For a half-strength light cavalry unit. Well, not going to clean up by this Great Guard, but it does push the bows back, does kill a few of them, and it does make him realize, hey, wait a minute, if I actually get a good angle of this attack, his bows might not actually be able to do that much damage to me, which is a very, very good revelation to have. Bows are out in front. The attack from the rear is now sneaking its way out. It's kind of funny, I think it was this one. I made that video saying that, you know, you have till tomorrow, or probably today when you're watching this, to get me a round 3 match, or I have to start disqualifying people. And then they sent me this match, and they were like, oh man, I'm sorry it took so long, I hope we're in there before the deadline. They really tried to get in for Monday, and not realizing that this is actually a round 4 match, and I'm not even, don't even have a deadline for that one yet, in the next 2 weeks or so, so they're well ahead of schedule, nothing to be worried about, no shame there. Our samurai are in position. Look at this, all of his Naginata monks are over here. It leaves just swords here, making them very vulnerable to cavalry, so maybe he's trying to slip a cavalry unit around to hit the... There is a matchlock here, though. That's going to be big. There's not a good angle of attack for the cavalry. If he tries to come around, the matchlock's going to be able to rain down bullets on him. Could not be ideal. Most samurai are hidden in the trees, one on each side. They're going to be moving up to try and skirmish as well as they can. Take that back, they're standing still right now. That's because he's moving his cavalry over here. Making his move now. Trying to draw that Naginata monk out of position. Maybe just trying to sneak a Katana cavalry around to get on this side, which is a great idea because there's nothing to stop a cavalry attack from this side. Absolutely nothing. And especially a Katana cavalry coming into a bunch of swords could just wreak havoc on this infantry line. So I think that was a good move there by BustRobot. The Naginata monks are going to attack. Which may pop that advanced rapidly or they're going to get caught. Nope. Looks like Madness is going to stop. Oh, that guy. Not so lucky. Oh, he's still alive though. Check this dude out. He's like, hey, where y'all going? You can take these guys. Oh, dang. These guys are kicking ass. But here comes the rest. I love little individual battles like that. Goes to join the rest of them. Fighting a little bit downhill, not ideal. We'll see how well these Yaris can hold out against these Naginata monks. Not too well, it seems, as Naginata monks is sitting at 115, the Yari samurai already wavering. But he's so far out of position now. Maybe could have timed this better. I think he should have been simultaneous with the sword attack and the spear attack here. Cavalry, I think that's a big waste going into the spears here because they're going to be hit by Great Guard and pretty easily taken out as well. And the Naginata monks are going to capitalize. Ooh, that was not an ideal attack, going to lose this entire force, and now he has to attack straight on. There's basically nothing to flank, and it's going to be very hard for BustRobot. It was hard enough as it was, but I think it was a timing mistake here, which is another bad thing about using that Yari spear ball. It's hard to time things offensively just because they're so slow. Naginata samurai up in front. The bow samurai are shooting too, which I might actually be focusing on the infantry line with the bows. Matchlocks are going to get a good angle off, but will they be able to shoot before the cavalry gets there? Nope. Great Guard with a big charge, but if you can pin him down with the Naginata samurai, it would be totally worth it. Will he make it there in time? Or will Madness pull out his Great Guard? We will see. Naginatas, look at this, they're very tired already. All that walking. That is not good because Madness is fresh. This is just not looking good for BustRobot. He has so many disadvantages right now. But here comes the Katana cavalry. His one last hope to turn this battle around, I think. Nice charge there from the Katana cavalry into the bows. I think actually what you should probably try and do here is kill the bows with the cavalry and then try and skirmish like crazy. Because that's really the only thing he has that can turn this infantry battle. The Nodachis are coming out and they activated Banzai going into the Naginata samurai. Having high armor, they're probably the best unit to take a Nodachi charge. It wasn't a good one, as they barely hit anybody. This Naginata samurai is at 90 men though, and dropping fairly rapidly. Same over here. The Yari spear ball is in position. Will they make it there in time? Slowly advancing. They are winded. Tired here on the Katana samurai. Not good. Bad angle here on the bow samurai as well, shooting up that hill. They just really don't have an angle. And shooting him in like Ashigaru. Nothing to threaten him from the rear here. And Madness is moving all of his units up to the front. I think Madness is going to be able to hold here. but he is a little disorganized. I think if he gets some units around here, he gets some decent flanking options, actually. But he is very tired. That is definitely not good. Especially if you're a long-term grinded out army like the Yari Spear Wall. It's very strong, but very tough build to use. Got a samurai trying to flank. He's got to get some sort of flanking around here. Matt's actually shooting into the little holes here. Trying to pick off these Yari Ashigaru, who are steady and doing a pretty good job. The Nodachi here is in the red morale. But we have wavering here from this Yari Ashigaru. And they might make it through this first attack. But even if they do, he's got another line of Naginata monks and katanas to deal with. So it looks like Madness is going to hold here without too much trouble. So Samurai moving up. General, I think he's got to get in the battle here and make some charges. It's really risky, but it's not working out too well for him, though. He is holding decently well, but another attack coming in from Naginata monks and Warcry could just do it with the fatigued army here. General's in stand to fight. 23 men. Yari Ashigaru sitting at 42. Both of his bowmonks are on the field, but they're both hurt. One at 47 and one at 16. Looks like they're shooting into the general as well. Not a bad choice. I think I'd be trying to thin out the melee line as much as I could, though, because it's going to take forever to kill the general, especially in that angle. Yeah, definitely shooting the general. Hasn't really killed anybody, though. When you're shooting the general with bows, you got to have like a full unit doing it, or you just won't do any damage. And a big cavalry charge from the Great Guard could seal the deal on this attack. So really, I mean, give him credit. It was a really hard position to attack, and his army really wasn't well suited for it. Maybe not the best map choice with an army like this. Just have one with a lot of choke points, which granted this one does, but when you know you have to attack, what the other guy can just use this hill just like this, and Madness is going to get a relatively painless hold here. It was quite a few men. Interesting to see the numbers on this one, because BustRobot is holding. Last chance in the tournament. He is on the brink of elimination as this is the losers round. Seabo's still shooting, actually not shooting the general anymore, but the general's a 21 men, so you really got to have a full unit doing that to do any real damage. Cavalry going into the bows. Naginata monks are moving up to finish this one off. And rather long battle there, but you really had to get in the best position you could to have any chance of winning this battle. And it looks like units routing everywhere, and that's going to be it. Just the general left. There he goes. And Madness is taking the series 2-0, moving on in the losers round. He will be going on to fight Indie Pride. It'll be a very tough and entertaining match. I'll see you there, but first, going back to the main menu to check out the numbers a little bit. And yes, the numbers are once again very much in Madness's favor. Lost just over half of his army of 1,500. BustRobot only had about 300 survivors out of his nearly 2,000 man strong army. So a good effort there by BustRobot, but I think his problem was macro. I think his micro was pretty good, and he actually got some good engagements off there, but that sort of spear wall katana hybrid is really just sort of weak, because it's just kind of average all over, and you don't really have anything to smash into the enemy unless you can get really great cavalry usage off, which Madness was able to stop. So Madness will be the one moving on, taking the series 2-0. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next match.